No
How you,
worries.
how you doing
No
today?
worries. I'm doing good. It's Sunday
Nice,
with
nice,
church
nice.
and now
I
on
know,
school.
right? How's the
Yeah.
we- How's the weather in California?
It's pretty good. It's like a what? I think it's what 83. It's not too hot. It's like a perfect
Oh,
weather with a nice breeze.
oh, for real?
Mhm.
That's
Like
what's
Los
up.
Angeles is not super hot.
That's what's up. It's pretty wet on the Saturday on the East Coast.
Really? Where do you live? Where in the East Coast?
I live in Philadelphia.
I always wanted to visit Philly. I heard a lot of things about Philly.
What did you hear about Philly?
I just heard that it's little Liberia.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
There's a lot
yeah.
of
We
Liberians in Philly, so
that's for sure. We have a huge Liberian community in Philadelphia.
mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I would love to
So
visit.
so after Minnesota is Philadelphia in terms of Liberian population.
Really, that's awesome.
Absolutely. In the
And you guys
United
have
States.
restaurants.
Oh yeah, yeah, they got some cool West African restaurants here too,
That's
especially
awesome.
the Liberian restaurants.
See, that's awesome. See, that's good. That's what I want to see. They don't really have like Liberian restaurants here. You have people who cook food in their house.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
like in terms of like an actual restaurant, they don't really have
Uh-huh.
that here. There is one girl who just recently opened one, but she's still new.
Okay, okay. So
Yeah.
we be having some folks who be doing that too, to be cooking at their house,
Mm-hmm.
and then to be selling it, and then be
Right.
selling the African food stuff. Yeah.
Nice.
But I'm so
One day,
excited. Say that again.
I said one day I'll come to Philly. At least I know somebody now in Philly,
Oh,
so
oh, for sure. You gotta LRB connect in Philly here.
exactly.
Absolutely. So, thanks for accepting my invitation.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Abs- no problem. I'm so excited to have you here today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Uh, you take up your business schedule to just hang out with me on my podcast. It's indeed
Of
a
course.
pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you.
So, first of all, we want to start off with Liberia. So,
Okay.
can you tell us
Mhm.
a little bit about your background in terms of where you from, for the sake of my audience who are not familiar with you?
Sure. So clearly I'm Liberian.
Okay.
Full Liberian, but I technically never been to Liberia. My mom said when I was a baby they took me to Liberia, but I guess that doesn't count. But
But
I was
you got a little bit of Liberian accent there. I can
yeah,
hear you.
I can yeah. Let me spit the raw Liberian English. I'll kind of speak it. I sound too Americanized. Let me spit the Liberian English. Sorry, let me speak it. Yeah. So I was born in Ivory Coast. Well, let me
Okay.
reverse. I was conceived in Liberia. Like my mother was actually pregnant with me during the
Right.
second civil war in Liberia. But due to the war, a lot of Liberians were leaving the country and migrating to nearby countries. So I happened to be born in Ivory Coast. That's where I was born. And then when I was, I think, a few months old or at least a year old, we moved to Ghana, and I was in Ghana until I was a little girl, and then I came to United States at the age of 8 years old in 2000. And then so I've been in California since 2000. And then I turned 9 in February of that year.
Wow.
So I've been in the States for like 24 years. But I'm full
Wow, wow,
Liberian.
wow.
My parents are Liberian. My grandfather, Bishop Augustus B. Mawie, he was a prominent figure in Liberia. He had ministry of hope, or a head ministry. A lot of the older folks know my grandfather.
Right.
He was actually the principal of Charles Taylor. He was known as the People's Bishop. He had a TV show where he used to preach the gospel. So a lot of the older folks, I'm pretty sure your parents probably know my grandfather. Um,
Absolutely.
so
Absolutely.
yeah, I rep LIB all day, every single day.
But
Um,
how much do you know about Ghana?
Ghana, I consider myself an honorary Ghanaian because that's where I grew up.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
actually getting the accent too before I actually before I came to the United States. I had
Oh,
the
I see.
accent. Yeah, but I don't, I mean, I was a little girl. So in Ghana, they had a Butuburum camp. So my
Right.
parents weren't together. So we lived in Accra, down Soma, with my father, and then my mom lived in Butuburum camp. So I lived Monday to Friday with my dad, and then on the weekends, my little brother and I will go to the camp, Butuburum camp, on the weekends. And my little brother, he was actually born in Ghana, so he's like fully Ghanaian technically.
Right.
Um,
Right.
so yeah, but I remember having a great time on the camp. Ghana was a vibe. Like I love Ghana, but I'm full Liberian. I grew up in a Liberian household, regardless.
Right. 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 So, what's your favorite Liberian food?
My favorite Liberian food, oh my gosh. I would have to say, well, first and foremost, we do have the best jollof rice.
Yes. Yes.
you
Absolutely.
know,
Absolutely.
we
That's true.
we recently won. Liberia actually took home the title of best jollof rice like last month in May. They had the Jollof Festival year, and they're doing another one next month in August in LA again. This girl named Mami Pepe, she's gonna be, representing us this time around, and I'm gonna be
That's
like hosting like the red carpet again and going around asking people, hey, which jollof is your favorite? But I know we're gonna win again if they're not cheating. 'Cause that's the thing. In LA, they have a lot of Nigerian people here, so they
right.
like
Right.
to cheat because the judges are always Nigerians. I'm like, I know Nigerians are everywhere,
I
but
know, right?
yeah. But my favorite Liberian food, I would have to say, I like all the tabagis, whether it's kettle tabagi, beans tabagi, all the tabagi. Tabagi, you can never go wrong with it. And it's
Yeah.
also
Yeah. Yeah.
geared towards just Liberia.
I got
There's
you.
no
I
other
got you.
country have tabagi. It's just us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Initially, you did mention about the Buduburan camp. Did you hear about the recent development that happened in the Buduburan camp? I mean, particularly relating to the forceful removal of Liberians from the Buduburan camp.
Yeah, because I actually remember because my mother was in the camp, right? So when we came to the United States, we came to the United States with my dad and his side of the family. And I remember they actually destroyed the Butcher Brim camp at one point in like I think 2003, 4-ish. They told the Liberians, go back to your country. Liberia is doing better. You guys don't need to be here anymore. And my mom was actually one of those people who actually ended up going back to Liberia. So my mom, she's actually back home now. She's in Liberia.
Oh,
Yeah, but she was in Ghana too. She was in Butcher Brim camp. So she ended up going back to Liberia. But I know also recently there was news too, like some of the Liberians who ended up staying, who didn't go the first round, right? The first round, who ended up staying, they were still trying to drive them away. But it's unfair to those folks too who actually grew up in Ghana. They don't have any family in Liberia. Ghana
oh,
is all they know, so it's unfair. Um, I just kind of feel like it could be rooted in jealousy, kind of. But then again, um, I understand where they're coming from. Sometimes Liberians, we can be a little bit entitled, but we want A, B, C, and D. It's like they're giving you this, you don't want it, but you want A, B, C, and D. It's like, take what they can give you, but they want this, they want that.
abs-
What we fail to
ab-
realize is that we're not citizens of them. So
absolutely.
yeah.
Um, can you give a little rundown about your education journey?
Yes. Oh, I have a long educational journey. So first of all, I'm a very studious person. I love knowledge. I love learning.
Nice, nice. That's
And
good to
that's kind of
hear.
how I kind of discover you a little bit because I'm
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
big yeah. I like to read a lot. So I was on Medium. I
Yeah.
read at least one article a day on Medium, and I remember being on Medium, and I was like, let me just search something about like Liberian writers. So I just remember
Oh,
searching. Yeah,
yeah. I be
I
doing
li-
that too. I be doing
yeah.
that too. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, I was like, cause I just read about every little thing, just random topics about everything, cause I just want to be knowledgeable. So I just
Exactly.
randomly was like, let me see anything about Liberia,
So that's how
and
you discover me on
that's how
Medium,
I just
right?
yeah, So I just searched Liberia,
Oh, wow.
and then there
So
was a few yeah.
it's important, right? You see,
It's
you
important.
just
I was
right.
curious to see. I read all different articles about different subjects, different people. So I was
Exactly.
curious. I was like, let me see what us Liberian folks are writing. And I came across different articles. Some of them was so funny. Like you can hear their accent and their in the way they wrote.
Oh, for
Um,
real?
yeah, I was like cracking up. Like this guy, the way he was writing, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can literally hear
you
the raw
you can
Liberian
you can
English.
you can yell at Colo in
Oh
another
my
language,
gosh, yes,
right?
you can. He wrote exactly how he talked. How it was so
Wow.
funny. Yeah, I can
Wow,
hear the
wow,
raw
wow.
Liberian English. Yeah.
Did he
So
do that on purpose?
I don't think it was you can tell when somebody intentionally will write in slang,
Oh, yeah,
but
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
like you can tell like they're good writers, but you can tell they're writing in slang intentionally, and then you can tell if that's how
Right,
the person is writing because they're writing
right,
how they
right.
speak. You can tell the difference. I can totally tell the difference. I've read so
True.
many articles and read so many books, you can tell. Yeah, I think that individual, that's how he writes. Like he don't know
Okay.
proper grammar, structure,
I
whatever.
got you.
He just write, yeah. But he wrote well. He doesn't really know the proper English, you know. But it was kind of funny because he literally was just writing how he talks, and it was
Right, right,
hilarious. Yeah. So I came across yours. I think you were talking a lot about like it was doing the whole, politics,
election, yeah,
the
election
election,
period. Exactly.
George Weah. Yeah. So it was
Joe
about that.
Boakai, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and yes, at the time I was going for Alexander Cummings. He actually came to. I'm from Sacramento. I live in Los Angeles, but I'm actually from Northern California. Excuse me, Sacramento
yeah.
to be
Okay.
exact. It's
Okay.
about 5.5 hours further up north. So Alexander Cummings came to my hometown, and the guy to me was the best choice in my opinion. But I just
We
feel
we
like
we we're gonna get there. We're gonna get
okay,
there.
okay, we'll get there. And that's
Yeah,
why I
for
was kind
sure.
of I was like, I wonder where Isaiah wanted to go with this conversation. You didn't really tell me what this conversation is going to be about. If
I
it's
know.
going to be
I wanted to
politics.
do it like a
Okay,
surprise
okay, I
interview.
see.
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so my educational background. So yeah, so I'm all about knowledge, and that's how I discovered you. And I came across your article, and I really enjoyed like reading your writing. I like your writing style. It was easy to read, easy to
Thank you
follow, and
so
I can tell
much.
you're very intelligent. And I
Thank you
like
so
intelligent
much.
people. Like if you're smart,
Absolutely.
most likely I'm gonna be friends with you. If I like smart people, just in general,
Me
like
too. Me too. Me
yeah,
too.
all my friends are
Absolutely.
smart. Like I have to learn from you.
Right.
I have to see. Yeah, like I like smart people in
Absolutely.
general. So I think I went
True.
and followed you on Instagram. I followed you on Instagram. I don't know how we got connected on Facebook too, but yeah. But
Yeah.
I
I
remember
think I, I
looking
think I look you up on Facebook.
on Facebook. Yeah, I said, oh
Yeah.
yeah, this guy's really intelligent. He's Liberian, super dope. So yeah,
Thank
I
you.
ended up connecting with you because I really liked how you wrote and I liked your writing style and you seem really intelligent. And I'm like, okay, this is cool. But yeah, my education background. So I'm from Northern Cal, Sacramento. When I came to the United States, I came in elementary school. So I went to elementary school year, middle school, high school. I graduated from Elgrove High School, excuse me. And then I also went to Sac State. So I got my bachelor's in communications. At the time, I wanted to do like journalism, right? I wanted to be
Right.
like a news reporter and be on TV or something. And that's what I
Right.
wanted to do. And I ended up changing it to just communication with an emphasis in public relations. Um, but then I ended up when I graduated, I ended up getting a job in healthcare as a healthcare recruiter because the company that got me the job didn't really care too
Right.
much about your major. They only care about like your personality. They're willing to train you on the job. So that's how I kind of got into healthcare. And then I worked for that company for about a year and a half. And then I was like, you know what? I really want to come to LA. And because I was learning healthcare, I was like, okay, let me just further my, education in healthcare. So I got my master's in healthcare management. And I just continued doing healthcare as well. This is just the snuffest short term,
Right.
version.
Right.
Got my master's in healthcare management year in at Cal State Los Angeles, and then I'm wrapping up my doctorate in healthcare administration next
Wow.
year, 2025. So it's year three. Next year is gonna be
Congratulations.
year four. Thank you. I can't believe I'm
You're
almost done.
welcome.
Oh, praise the Lord! So I'm actually in my dissertation
Absolutely.
stage. Yeah, so I'm actually
So
in my. Mhm.
so right now you work in media, right?
Yeah, so media is like my because most people don't really know if you see like my social media and
Right,
like
right,
so
right, right,
yeah, all
right,
you see
right.
is the media aspect, but I do have a
Exactly,
professional.
exactly.
Yeah, I do have a professional aspect to me as well, which is the
Right.
healthcare. I'm in healthcare management. Right now, I manage like a 300 bed skilled nursing facility in Southern California year. So I'm part of the management team. My focus is in the recruitment and retention of the nurses.
That's what's
And
up.
I also have a healthcare staffing business called Renowned Medical Staffing as well. And with me, about to receive my doctorate in healthcare administration, I do plan on, I really want to teach healthcare management in Liberia. Maybe one of the summertime breaks. I want to
Yeah,
teach that because I feel like in
that's really
Africa,
good.
yeah, we focus so much on the clinical aspects of healthcare and kind of neglect the business aspect. Because healthcare is a business, right? Like we need
Right.
policies, we need something in place. It's not just
That's
about
true.
like doctor and nurses, but it's the business aspect too. So like teaching about like the business aspect of healthcare. I would love to teach maybe at the University of Liberia or a private sector. Um, I need to speak with George Warner. I kind of know him a little bit, so like I didn't reach out to him. I know he was the former minister of education.
Yeah.
Um, so I need to reach out to him. So we'll see. Yeah, so that's the plan. But I do media. Media is also like my passion as well.
So
Um,
how long have you been in the media business?
Media. Oh my gosh, for a very long time. I would say for almost 15 years. And how I got into that was
Wow.
also very kind of divined. Yeah. So like when I graduated high school. I remember when I graduated high school, it was like the summer before I actually was about to go to college, Sac State. The Liberian community, I've always been involved in the Liberian community. We're called AFLI, which is an acronym for the Associations of Citizens and Friends of Liberia of Sacramento. And our president at the time, his name was Doba. He passed away. Rest in peace, Doba. But at the time, he really wanted the youth involved, right? And I remember I was asked to participate in the Miss Athlete pageant, and then for my talent, I did this like dramatic interpretation, and he really liked it. It was like a speaking thing that I did, that I wrote and I did it, and he really liked me speaking. And he's like, "Hey, OJ, I really want the youth involved for this year, July 26th gala. I want you and Manny to host the gala." So I was like, okay, sure. First gig ever, was hosting the Liberian Independence Day gala, me and Manny. And then, yeah, we hosted it. And all the adults, this is 15 years ago, all the adults were like, "Oh, you guys did so good. You guys did so well." And honestly, that was the boost of confidence that I needed. And it felt comfortable. It felt like I was in the right place. It felt right. Like I just felt at ease. I thought I would be nervous. I was not nervous. Like I just felt like I was doing something I was meant to do. So that's how I kind of got into like the hosting. So I started hosting when I got to college. I started hosting different events on campus. A lot of the sororities and fraternities like, "Oh yeah, I heard Othelia," or my nickname is OJ, by the way. "Oh, I heard
Okay.
OJ host events." Yeah, I heard OJ host events. So they'll tell me to host events. And then word of mouth in the community, like, "OJ, can you host this baby shower? OJ, can you host this wedding? Can you host this event?" So I just kind of started hosting events and doing things like that. Yeah, I just started hosting a lot of the community events. Lots of people. I've done so many community events. So I was doing that while also being a recruiter, as a healthcare recruiter, working. And then I was like, I really want to go to LA, get my master's, but also like try to do red carpet, be on TV and be like a TV host and go big. Oh, and at the same time too, there's a gentleman who also, his name was Sadia. He was like, "Let's create a show called the Othelia Joy Show." Right? He's like, "Let's create a show
Wow.
called the Othelia Joy Show where, you can interview people who have businesses in Sacramento." And he really invested in me. He like created a microphone, create like it was kind of cool. If you look on YouTube, like
Is
Othelia Joy
is he
Show,
is he a librarian?
he's Liberian, yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's Liberian. He had a like this network called BeAfrican.net. So like he was like, "Let's create a show called the Othelia Joy Show," because he saw what I did in the community with me hosting all these like different events, baby showers, weddings, and like stuff in college. I was just like everywhere. And then I also like I won pageants. I did pageants as well, and I won Miss Black Sacramento. So I was just everywhere in Sacramento. So like let's create the show, the Othelia Joy Show. So yeah, so we did that for like a year or two. And then I decided to come to like Los Angeles. Everybody, even though I'm from California, Northern California, Southern California, we're a little different. We're more laid back. So I was
Right.
like, let me come to Hollywood. Let's see what's out here. But I've always been against studious. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to get my master's as well. I was still working.
Right.
I got a job out here while I was also getting my master's. But at the same time, I was always killing two birds with one stone. I've always been very ambitious. I always kill two birds
Right.
with one stone, do two things at once. Always been in school, had a job, like, because LA is very expensive. I tell people, man, you
Right.
want to come to
Right.
LA, make sure you have a career. You chasing this Hollywood lifestyle dream. It's expensive out here. It's so expensive. It's ridiculous. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, so
So
yeah, I was doing both, and yeah, and I've been doing both, still doing both. I have a
yeah.
career.
So
I'm still in school. I'm still gonna do both,
you are
media and also healthcare.
you are pretty basic. So do you prefer
Yeah,
the healthcare more than the media side, or do you prefer the media side more than the healthcare side?
people always ask me that. Honestly, it's both, man. Like, I can do both. I can handle both. I know it seems hard to look from the outside. People's like, you need to slow down, like, get married, have some kids and stuff. I'm in my 30s already, and I understand. But like, hey, you may not be able to handle it. That's why you're not me, Uh,
Absolutely.
and they go hand in hand. Like, both jobs entail you communicating with people. It entails communication. It entails talking. It entails networking, and it goes hand in hand. It kind of like intersect in a weird way. Except one is media. Like, when I'm on red carpets talking to celebrity, it's conversation. You know, when I'm talking
Right.
to nurses, when I'm talking to the family of the nurses or even the patients and stuff, they're both customer service in their own right. It's literally
Right.
it goes hand in hand, right? It legitimately goes hand in hand.
That's
It's just
true.
like two different sectors. You know what I mean? One is just more professional, and you're dealing with serious things because you have patients' life at stake, and the other one is more laid back, but they're both similar. So I'm not
Right.
doing two things so out of the box. It's just one is more consistent. It's a career. Like, I have consistent paycheck. I can pay my bills every
Yeah.
month. And the other one is like it's more of a gig. It's not
Right.
every
Right.
single
Right.
day. Yeah.
So
But I do
however,
both.
we gonna address you as a media personality for today's show, okay? Is that okay
Sure.
with you?
Yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
absolutely. Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
So you basically as a side gig you ask celebrities in California and in the United States in general for a living. How does it feel right now for me to be asking you questions that you usually ask celebrities?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
So I'm saying you basically ask celebrities in California for a living, right? As
Oh,
a side gig. So how
yeah.
does it feel right now to be asked questions by me? Or have you ever been on a podcast before to be asked questions relating to your personal and professional life?
I have. I actually have been on podcasts before. I have been interviewed by other people as well. Yeah. I've done it. I've been on both end of the spectrum. Cause I
Okay.
wore a bit different hats as well. I've
Right,
been other
right, right.
things. Yeah, so I have been interviewed before.
That's
Yeah.
what's up. So
Yeah.
do you have or one piece of advice, all right? Will
hmm
you give or provide to a person who wants to pursue a career in media or trying to pursue a career as a media personality?
I would say, don't accept a no for an answer, and also create your own table. So when I first moved to LA, when I first moved to LA, because Los Angeles, when most people who are transplants come to Los Angeles, for the most part, they're coming because they're trying to break into the industry, whether they're photographers, actors, actresses, rappers, singers, content creators, videographers, producers, whatever the case may be. They're trying to break into the industry. So you have a lot of transplants from
Right.
other places. So there's a lot of competition, and everybody's trying to make it here. So like there's gonna be a lot of no's or you're to this, you're to that, you're to this. Don't
Right.
be have thick skin or create your own table. A lot of days, people are creating their own tables. You have the internet, you
That's
have
true.
TikTok, you have social media. You create your own table. I remember when I first came here, there was this guy I met at Fashion Week, um, and I'm not gonna say the name, but like he promised me to like be one of his correspondents, right? Because he had all these media passes to all these events. And then I remember at one event, he had told me that I was going to be one of his media correspondents. So I was waiting for him to send me the details to meet him at the event. And then
Right.
he just went MIA. I was like, called to him, no response, nothing. And I remember watching his Instagram story, and he was there with another correspondent. And I was like, okay, like,
Uh-oh.
just, I know, just let me know. Just say, hey, I got another correspondent. That's it. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Right.
I'm
Right.
not one to be like, oh my gosh, no, I don't like drama. Like, just let me know what it is instead of me like thinking, am I still doing it or not? You know, just communicate with me. That's all I ask. Um, so then I was like, oh my gosh. So I thought to myself, like, what's the hard to create? I mean, you can probably create your own. So I thought to myself, let me create my own. So I created my own media company called Glory Part Media in 2020 during the COVID outbreak. I just,
Wow.
how everything was closed down while working from home. I
Right.
took the
Right.
initiative to create my own uh, media company. That was the same year I also decided to get my doctorate as well.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, I created my own blog, started posting, and I've been consistent since 2020. It's been 4 years now. It's so crazy. And
That's
I did
good.
my research, created my own blog. I have like 600 followers organically now, and I'm very consistent. And that's what I've been using to apply for all these media gigs that you see me covering. I apply on my own
Wow.
behalf, and it's funny enough. I would see the guy at some of these events as well. Some of these media corresponding events. I would
Right.
literally see him, and he'd be like, "Oh, hey, Othelia," and I'm like, "Oh, hey, hi," right? But in the back of my mind, I'm like, "Ha ha." In my head, I'm like, "Hi, is that you?" I'm here now. Like, I don't need you anymore. I have my own like company. So I
Right.
would say to that individual, sometimes it's really tough to get opportunities. So if you are able to, or you have the means to, create your own table. Don't
Gotcha.
wait for somebody
Gotcha.
to give you the opportunity. If you have the means to create your own table, take advantage of it if you can.
Absolutely. That's a great advice, especially with the advent of the internet. It's a useful tool to leverage.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, absolutely. I know you're a pretty busy person, but how do you balance your professional and personal lifestyle?
That's a good question. I've always been about balance. I'm big on balance because if you're one way, you're gonna just like drown in it, and it's gonna be boring, and you're just gonna like, it's not gonna be fun. Life's
Right.
about balance, regardless. I make time for
Absolutely.
my friends. I make time to enjoy myself. I make time to go on vacation. I make time to hang out with my girlfriends. Like, you always see me having fun. You always see me doing things. Like, it's not always just work. Like, I
Right.
do put myself on a schedule, like Monday through Friday. If you see me, I'm very structured. If you can ask anybody who knows me personally, and that's why I achieve a lot of the things that I achieve because I put myself in a schedule because you have to.
Wow.
But at the same time, I also know how to like enjoy
Balance.
myself.
Right.
I have my mode is work hard, but you also play hard too. So Monday through
Absolutely.
Friday, like I have work, I have my schoolwork, like my paper that I'm working on right now. I read at least a chapter a day because I read a book a month. The gym as well. So like Monday through Friday, I'm like super structured. I have like my list that I follow, posting my blog. So Monday through Friday, I'm super structured. And then on the weekends for me to like do whatever I want to, whether if I do like media opportunities that I do, or hang out with my friends, do brunch with my friends, or go out, or go to like do something with my friends, I do that. Like the weekends for me to like do whatever. Like I don't feel guilty at all on the weekends because I know Monday through Friday I really put in the work. Like I
Right.
put myself in yeah, like I'm really focused and really disciplined Monday through Friday from work, the 8 hours plus, going to the gym, reading my books, medium, posting on my blog pages, doing research, doing my homework. Like Monday through Friday, I don't even like mess around. But weekends, I just do whatever. I hang out with my friends, do things, go to brunch, just chill, just yeah. So it's
That
always about balance, for
that's
sure.
what's up. That's what's up.
So I
You
never
said
feel
what
guilty. Yeah.
that's what's up. That's a really good time management skills.
You have
Absolutely.
to. Oh my gosh, you
Right,
have
right.
to.
There's a lot of distractions everywhere right now. So to effectively manage your time, that's a
Hmm.
worthwhile skill that anybody can really adapt and implement. Um,
Absolutely.
so
A list. You
so
have to put a list. And the way I do
right.
my list, you'll literally think somebody like I
Oh, so
have like
you have like a to-do list?
oh yes, I have a to do list. In the way I'm very structured, you'll think like I have someone to like someone look over me to make sure I'm doing it because I'm
Do
like
you use pen and paper like like regular pen and paper, or do you have like a specific software?
I use my notes on my iPhone, and I
Oh,
have like little
okay.
check, yeah. And
Right,
I
right,
use
right,
that. And then if let's say if I don't complete a task, I really have to justify to myself why I didn't complete it, right?
right,
Like, cause like I have to justify to myself. I don't let it be like, oh, I didn't complete it just because. No way. Like I want to. It's not. That's not an acceptable reason. Like I have
right.
to. Like it has to be a valid reason why I did not complete it. Maybe like an emergency happened, or I had a deadline for a big project I was working on. Like I had in me mentally, this is all me. So I
Right.
have to mentally like justify why I wasn't able to like read my chapter a day, because I read a book a month. So I have to put myself in a schedule to make sure that I complete my task, right? So
Right.
I put myself, yeah. So it's crazy. I'm so structured. It's so weird sometimes, because people be like, girl, you'll think somebody really is like watching me to make sure that I'm checking it, but it's just really just me. But if I don't do it, then I'm just gonna like I won't be able to manage a lot of the things that I do manage. But
So,
it's only temporary though, so
right, right. How do you feel when you don't get a specific task done? How do you feel about that? Do
it
you
doesn't
feel
feel
pissed
good.
off?
Yeah, I
No,
won't say
as
I
in
get pissed off.
if you do not get a specific task done, how do you feel?
It doesn't feel good. Like
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
don't take it lightly. I don't be like, oh yeah, well I didn't get anything done, whatever. No, I'll be like, oh man, it does bother me, but that's why I have to justify it. If the
Right,
justification makes sense, like
right,
if it makes sense, like if I have like a like right now, like for example, we had the state in our facility. We managed one of the 300 like a the biggest skilled nursing facility in the South Bay region, right? We
right,
had a state coming in. So when the state is in our facility, we cannot leave, right? All the department heads cannot leave the facility. We have to be there until the state leaves, right?
right,
So
right, right,
technically, I'm off at 5:30, right? I can't leave. So the state is there till 8 o'clock. I have to be there till 8 o'clock, right? So that's
right,
like 6, 7, 8. That's 3 hours already. I'm already missing, right? Typically, I would like to go to the gym at 6 o'clock and be there for an hour. So I'm already missing the gym. I like to be home by 8 o'clock. So I already, if I don't leave work till 8 o'clock, I already like I can't be home by 8 o'clock. I live downtown Los Angeles. I work in Torrance, so I'm already like behind my schedule, so I won't be able to read my book, my chapter. There's like 22 pages. You do the math. There's no way, right? But then again, it was out
yeah,
of my control, right? So like that's justification. But let's say that, like if one of my friends called me and I was on the phone for her like 2 hours talking about nothing, that's something that's like my fault. Like yeah. So like it's time management. So it has to be for a valid reason.
right,
Um,
right, right.
yeah. So
So who's the most famous celebrity you ever interviewed?
That's the thing. Nowadays days, like A-lister don't really do the red carpets anymore. Like A-listers, like the Beyonce, the Sierra, like the A-listers they don't walk the red carpets anymore like how they used to back in the day. Um, it's always the influencers, and if you're in Los Angeles, you have a lot of influencers. Oh my God, everybody these days can be influencers. If you
Oh
have a lot of
yeah,
Instagram followers, you consider influencers. If you have a lot of TikTok followers, you're considered an influencer. Those are the ones who love to walk the red carpets.
right.
Um, the most famous person I've interviewed, oh my gosh, recently or just in general?
Just in general, like your Mount Rushmore of interviews.
You're so funny. Oh my god, like in what like preference, like in just like
Just in
so
general,
for me personally, or like somebody I
yeah,
was starstruck.
no, for you personally in your media personality career.
For me personally, I would have to say so. Because it's very subjective who you consider the most famous person, right?
No, that you have interview, that you have interview.
That I've interviewed.
Yes.
I would say the most famous person. I would say, uh, I would say MC Light. Because she's
MC
iconic.
Light.
MC Light was iconic.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, she's so like down to earth. Like she
wow,
is.
wow, wow.
Hmm. I would say
That's
MC
awesome.
Light. She's so down to earth. Um, yeah, I'll say MC Light. I'll also say, I guess Akon is okay. I don't know.
Right, right.
Akon is cool.
So
Uh, yeah.
So
You know,
guys,
I
if
don't
you
get celebrity trust. My if I ever interview celebrity, Sierra, she's the reason why my hair color is this color because I love Sierra.
oh,
Sierra
you
and Russell
do, huh?
Wilson. If I interview them, then I've made it.
Oh
If I,
wow, wow, wow,
yeah,
wow,
if I ever interview Sierra, then I feel like I've made it. And that's why,
wow.
like, my goal is to, like, that's why I can't wait to almost be done with school. That would kind of alleviate some of the, because I kind of like, I like red carpets, but I'm kind of over red carpets now.
Right.
It's time to, like, audition for, like, to be a TV host, but, like, it's hard to do auditions when you're, like, it's just a schooling for me right now because I'm almost done with school. I got to kind of, like, I'm at the finish line. But once that's done, that'll kind of free me a little bit so I can kind of like go on audition and things like that.
That's what's up. Do you follow sports
When I was dating this guy, I was because he was into it, but not really.
or not really? What sports you
Kind of.
guys were into?
It was football because he played the football. That's why.
Is it American football?
It was American football, yeah, not
Oh,
soccer.
okay.
Yeah.
I have no idea about American football
I
whatsoever.
oh I
Right.
oh, okay, so soccer, huh?
Right. I'm a soccer
Football.
guy.
Soccer.
Exactly.
What's your team? Is it
Manchester United.
Manchester, of course.
Yeah,
What's the
yeah,
other
yeah,
one too? There's
yeah.
another one too.
Met
Chelsea. Chelsea.
They got Chelsea, they got Manchester City, they got Arsenal, and all the
Oh,
guys.
okay.
Right. So
I heard of Manchester.
what songs do you listen to?
Oh, of course. I love Liberian music.
Love
I love
Libra.
like
Who's the favorite Libra artist?
my favorite Liberian artist. I would have to say
Jay-Z?
he's cool. My friend manages him. I have a friend, associate who manages him. Um,
Oh.
I would say I would Jimson definitely he put us on the map, so that's a good thing.
Yeah,
He
absolutely.
definitely put us on the map, so that's
The
great.
first global superstar. I
Exactly.
love
He
that
definitely put
word, yeah.
Liberian music on the map. But I like CIC. I do like
I see.
I like Kabazi. I also
Kabasi.
like MC Light. No, it's not her
MC
name, that's not her name.
MC
MC
Cairo.
Carroll, excuse me.
Yeah.
MC Carroll. Oh, I also like what's his name? Oh my gosh. What's his name?
Christoph.
No, I don't even know who that is. Uh
Bucky Raw.
no, I like I don't really listen to music. I only know like one song.
Okay, but how about Afrobeats in general, like the Whiskey, the Davido
I
of the
like
world?
I like whiskey music. I like Davido. I like I like yeah, I like all the music. I like
Okay.
African music. Yeah.
So T.Y. Savage or Thames, who do you prefer?
Oh, definitely Tim's for sure.
Thames.
I like her. I
Okay.
love her music. I love her sound. She's very unique.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, so it seems like you follow politics, right?
I when doing the election, I was definitely involved because
The Liberian election?
the Liberian election, I was involved because our former president, Intinana, she was our former president. When she was president of the Liberian community, I was her youth president. So I was the Liberian youth president, and she was our president back in the day. So I
Right.
know she was really big on Alexander Cummings, so I was there to support her. So
Right.
yeah.
So, what's your view on the socio-political landscape of Liberia right now?
I don't really have much of a view. I just hope, I know that Joseph Boykai, my mother and her family are for Joseph Boykai.
Right.
And I know that he has a background, which is good. At least he has a background. He was the vice president before. So now with him being the president, that's at least he has some kind of like knowledge on how to move forward the country versus the former president who came from a soccer background, who was a celebrity, had kind of no knowledge or nothing. Um,
Right.
at least it's better than something, It was kind of like George Weah to me was like a Donald Trump, just a
Right.
celebrity, a famous celebrity becoming president. So at least with Joseph Boycott, at least he has some kind of knowledge. But
Okay.
again, I'm afraid of his age, him falling asleep, and all that nonsense. But who knows? But to be honest, I haven't really been following too much of it.
Okay.
I
Fair
yeah,
enough.
yeah. So I don't want to give too much of an opinion that I'm not too sure of before anybody can say, "What is a small guess that she knows?" She don't know nothing, and they're
that's the
right.
that's the perfect Liberian accent.
Yeah, it's small
so
guess. Yeah.
so what books do you usually read?
Oh, I read everything. Like right now, I'm actually reading a book about marriage. Like I like to be well diverse. So
Right.
this month I'm
That's
reading a
good.
book about marriage. I every time I go to the store, I buy books. Like I just buy books.
Do
Uh,
you have do you have a favorite book in particular, or the book that made the most impact on you?
Impact on me.
Right.
The book that made the most impact on me, I would have to say. Okay. First, let me just say this: nothing compares to the Bible, of course, right?
Okay.
But
Okay.
when I read this book, man, like the revelation that I received, oh my gosh, like I felt like it was just crazy. I would say Atomic Habits.
Atomic Habit. I know that book. Atomic
Yeah,
Habit.
Atomic Habits.
Yeah.
When I read that book, man, like just the gems that was in that book about
Yeah.
habits, like forming habits and like the things. I was just like, whoa, oh my goodness, I want to read it again and again and again and again and again, just to like get it stuck in my brain.
Well, let
Um,
me let me let me recommend a book for you. Okay,
okay.
you gotta read this book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, This Child Would Be Great by Ellen
Ella
Johnson
Johnson.
Sirleaf. Right.
Mm,
Yeah,
I love that.
it's a pretty interesting read.
It's about her
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, it's about her life and how she ascended to the Liberian presidency.
Wow, 'cause I know she
Yeah,
was an activist before she became president. So
absolutely, absolutely.
I would
So
love to read her book.
yeah, it's
Well,
a
give it to
great
me now.
book.
Send it to me now.
No problem. Just send me your
Isaiah, send
address
it to
after
me
this.
now. Give it to
No
me.
problem.
That's your gift.
No problem. Just send me your address after this conversation, and then I can
Okay, I
have it
will.
mailed.
Thank you.
I can have it mailed to you. All right.
Thank you so much.
I have a lot of books. I have books everywhere.
I
I
can
don't
tell
know.
you're a reader because you write well.
I
So
have books everywhere.
readers are
Yeah.
leaders.
Yeah,
So
yeah, absolutely, absolutely, Otelia.
no, I can tell.
Um, it been a fascinating time to hang out with you on the pod, Otelia. I really enjoy our conversation,
Likewise.
and I hope and wish you the very best in all your future endeavors.
Thank you. Of
Thank you so much for taking your precious
course.
time to talk to me. Okay,
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Great to finally
you
meet you.
you're very welcome.
And when I'm in Philly, which part of Philly do you reside?
I live in West Philadelphia.
West Philadelphia. Okay.
Yeah,
Philly is
I
a big.
it's a very big city. It's the largest city in Pennsylvania.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So I'm a Morovia boy, but I also call myself Philly boy because Philly is like my adopted city now. So yeah,
Mm,
yeah, that's what's
gotcha.
up. But
Good to know.
we hope to hang out again, Otelia.
Yeah, for sure. Ever in Los Angeles, let me know.
Absolutely. I have never been on the West Coast.
Really? Not even like nowhere, not even the
Absolutely.
Bay Area, nothing?
Not at all.
Ah, you're missing out. Come to Los Angeles.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
LA is
I
a vibe.
yeah, yeah, I hope to see that place one day.
There's a lot to do here. LA has everything. I mean, it depends on what you like.
Right.
You
I
can go
love the
to
sunshine.
Northing.
How often does it rain in LA?
Oh my gosh, yeah, during wintertime it rains. And then
Oh,
even if you want to go to like the snow, you can go to the mountain.
oh wow. Seems
Yeah,
like
you
a
can go to Big
beautiful area.
Bear. It rains, it snows in the mountains. So like this place called Big Bear. Even if it doesn't have snow, they have like fixed snows. If you're in Northern California, you can go to like Lake Tahoe or
Right.
Reno, because what's it called? Nevada is like right next to us. You can go to like Nevada to the snow. You have Vegas down the street. Um,
How far is Reno from Cali?
Reno, if you're in Northern California, it's like 2 hours. So Southern
Oh wow.
California, we're closer to Vegas, right? Because
Right.
Nevada is long, it's spread on California. So Reno,
Right.
if you're in Northern California, it's like 2 hours. If you're in Southern California, Vegas part is like 5 hours,
That's
or
good. That's good.
or
That's
you just
good.
fly. But LA is fun. LA is a vibe out here.
So will you ever relocate from LA someday or
Oh,
no?
definitely. I cannot see myself living here. LA is cool, but like to get a house here, oh my gosh. If I tell you how much I like pay for my studio in downtown, it's crazy. Like
Dang.
it's crazy.
Have you
Yeah.
been to New York?
I've been to New York. Yes, I have.
That's what's up.
I've been to New York. One of my good friends used to live in New York. I know Staten Island have a lot of Liberians.
Oh yeah, yeah. We have a lot of Liberian there too. It's a huge Liberian population.
It's
We
Staten
it's
Island,
like a
right?
little yeah, yeah. It's like a
Yeah.
little Liberia. That's what they call it sometimes.
Yeah, because she was like, look at your
Yeah.
people, because she's Nigerian. She's
Right.
like, Othelia, look at your people. And then it was like 2013. She took me to New York, and I said, "Oh my gosh!" And it was literally all Liberian people with the cold bowl shop. I think that's what they call it.
So
Cold cold.
have you been to a Kobo shop before?
Yeah, in New York, and it was
I know,
like
right?
we were
But
outside and stuff. I was like, "Oh my goodness!" That's why I want to go to Philly. I won't go to Philly. I've been to Minnesota as well.
oh
And I was
yeah,
really impressed just to see like Liberians owning like restaurants, like actual restaurant where you go and
yeah,
order food. Here, there's a lot of Nigerians. So Nigerians have like the restaurants. And then you have Little Ethiopia, so they have like their restaurants.
right.
Um, Even Ghanaian, there's a Ghanaian restaurant here as well. And then this is a girl. She just I think she has her main opening. Um, this coming Saturday, the 13th. So I'm gonna go
Right.
out there to support her. She's opening her actual shop, like her restaurant. And then she even wants it to like there's other Liberian people she wants to like to collaborate with, but they don't want to collaborate with her. I don't know,
Ha,
Liberians
ha,
people.
have you ever been a member of a book club?
No, but I would love to
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm trying to establish a book club.
do it. Liberian
Yeah.
Book Cup or just in general.
Books in general, but we would place a particular emphasis on Liberian
Let's
books
do that. Make it a
or
Liberian
or
thing.
or African books, right? Books by
Yeah.
African authors, right?
No, make
Exactly.
it a Liberian thing. We need to have our own thing.
I know, but we do not have too many books and we do not have too many
Uh,
authors. Yeah. So
oh,
we
okay. I
got
see what you mean. I see what you
yeah,
mean.
so we have to expand, all right?
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I see. I see. Okay. I would definitely be interested.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, for
down.
sure. It can be like a virtual book club, you know.
Yeah, I would definitely be
So
down.
so we can share ideas and have
And our
fun and
thoughts. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
That would be perfect. Because sometimes you read an article, you'd be like, okay, you think about it, your thoughts, but it's also good to see what people thought
Oh
about the
yeah, yeah,
chapter.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what did they get from it? Because your perspective could be completely different in how
Exactly,
you
exactly.
interpret that chapter. So
That's
I'm
true.
down.
For
I
sure,
am
for sure.
totally down.
For
All right,
sure.
well, thank you so much. I know it's super late. I know. Sorry, I
I
went to church
know.
today, and I'm like,
Me too. I went to church today too.
I know, but I was thinking, I'm like, I know it's gonna be super late. So I was like,
I
but
know, I know. But thank you so much, Otelia. Have a
of
God bless
course.
night, okay?
Thank you for having me. I'll send you my address for that book because that'll be my.
Oh,
It might be my what we're in July, so my August book.
for
All
sure, for sure. Bye bye.
right. Thank you. Bye. Have a good one.
You too. So, guys, that was my conversation with the incredible Otelia Joe. I hope you enjoy this conversation. It was indeed a fascinating conversation with Otelia Joe. Otelia Joe is the media personality who lives in, it's a Liberian media personality who lives in California. So, guys, thank you ever so much for listening to this conversation. I'm trying to be more committed to bring you more contents um, and more interviews with people who doing great stuff and ordinary peoples too. So thank you so much for supporting the podcast. Have a God bless evening, a good morning, and a good night wherever you are. Thank you.